Do it for the haves and the have-nots. All he had was a half in a glass pot. Got a race to he the first one with the last rock. Every day you see his face.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Brielle and Seth, and we're back again with the Hollywood reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing G Herbo's latest project, and it is titled PTSD.
Titled PTSD for post-traumatic stress disorder.
That was your guy.
G Herbo. I mean, honestly, he used to be my guy, but then like he kind of, since he just never fixed his flow, I kind of stopped listening to him. But we did listen to his new album. He's a Chicago rapper, also known as Little Herbie, and also known as Swervo. He's 24 years old. And yeah, we listened to his newest album, PTSD. I'm ready to give a full review on it. We're going to be reviewing it using 5 different criteria. First is going to be lyrics. Second is going to be production. Third is going to be vocals. Fourth is going to be replay. Fourth is going to be rhythm and flow. And fifth is going to be replay value. I'm going to start off with the lyrics. What'd you give for the lyrics?
I gave it a 9.
Okay.
I gave the lyrics a 9. I like the stuff he was talking about. I feel like, unlike a lot of rappers now, he was able to talk about. I mean, it was a lot of, flashy stuff, and it was also a lot of nigga shit too. But deep down in there was some emotional things as well that he discussed. And then I feel like he had it was like maybe 2 or 3 songs. No, it was more than that, where he was like telling a story. It was a violent story, but it was a story nonetheless. It was very descriptive. So I gave it a 9.
Okay.
What's the song that I like? You know why I didn't give it a 10 for the lyrics on the one with what's the one he was talking about, thugs crying?
Oh man, let me get it.
It was too forced. I just felt like it was something he felt like he had to do, and the word, I was like, what?
Yeah, I feel
if you're gonna make a song about that, the hook doesn't have to say, like, you know what I mean? It don't have to be like that. Like, you could just make the actual rap about that. But why? It seemed like it was too deliberate because the hook was just saying it and saying it. Like, so it was like, I can't.
For lyrics, I gave it a 9. Really liked. He's really flowing on this whole album. Well, not flowing, but he's really he's saying a lot of shit on this album. He got songs where he's telling like stories, and he got songs where he's just talking about his life as far as what he goes through.
The first, the intro, he was going in.
Yeah, the intro, he's basically just talking about shit he's seen growing up in Chicago, maybe some shit that maybe led to like PTSD. Next song that I want to talk about was Gangsta Cry. And I mean, I get it, like, cause especially through like the actual verses on the songs where he's just talking about like how he's seen so many of his homies die and had to go to the funerals and watch their moms, and it's just like a over and over cycle basically. So I get it, but again, the hook was just a bit too
forced.
Yeah, just was a bit too obvious, and like,
right.
and then you got BJ the Kid, the Chicago kid, coming on at the end talking about "Go ahead and cry, my nigga." Like,
I've never heard him
singing that, like,
that.
and I'm just like, all right, like,
he don't be in no song
yeah,
saying
like
that.
we gotta do a little bit better on the creativity on the hook on that. But I like the fact
the message.
I like the message, and just him talking about, like how we can, just because we're black men, we don't have to like hold in our feelings. Like, I don't know.
To me, it was like a fake "I ain't mad at you." Like, it was trying to get deep to like stir up emotions.
Yeah.
But it was too.
Yeah.
The words was like way too. Like with Tupac, "I ain't mad at you," it was like you could listen to the words and be like, yeah.
Have you ever seen a thug cry? You ain't gotta be and hide the cries. Like this is a little. All right, well, enough with that song.
That's
we got a lot of songs on this album that we're just talking about like violence and shit like that. Violence, drugs, and money, stuff like that.
Sex, murder, and mayhem.
It's a lot of other songs on here that actually have like other messages or either stories, such as PTSD, where he has Juice WRLD, Chance the Rapper, and Lil Uzi on there, and they all just kind of talk about some of the shit that they seen, maybe like in their hoods, and how that, how that may have led up to some PTSD they had. Another one, Gang Banging. I like this song because he kind of, even though he talks about like gang shit, he also mentions like the negatives that most rappers don't ever mention when it comes to like gang banging, like basically like how gangs like, or either you out here shooting and you make a mistake and shoot a kid, or you shoot somebody had nothing to do with it. He basically said like, if you do that, you a bitch, and just like, you know, just like call them out for their bullshit. So I like that part of it. Lawyer Fees. I like that song. I was basically talking about just like missing the homie that's locked up. I even like the hook on that song. Like
that one wasn't bad.
They got Polo G on the hook. And I like that hook, man. I like the song, I like the message and everything. Then he got the High Speed, where he's telling the story about how he's riding dirty and got chased by a cop. Feelings, he talks about like co-parenting. I like that. Like how he basically was talking about how his son, like, just talking about how his son may perceive like what's going on between him and his mom and shit like that. And just, I feel like he kind of just really opened up on that track a little bit. So I like that song, and I feel like it gave me points for as far as lyrics and content. So yeah, I gave it a 9. Only reason why I think I docked it a little bit was just maybe too many songs, too many like.
It was a lot of songs.
Yeah. No, not too many. I mean, he only had 14 tracks, but I'm talking about too many songs.
That's a lot for newer artists.
He's not a new artist.
Well, how long he been rapping?
For probably like 6-7 years now.
Well, this is the only solo project that I heard from him.
The ones I used to like from was Welcome to Phaso Land. That was like 2014.
Well, he don't rap on beat, and I don't have time for that.
So yeah, I meant, when I say too many songs, I meant like too many songs about like, or too many references shit about just like violence and shit like that.
My nose is killing me.
So on the production, what'd you give for production?
And then
okay,
I gave it a 9. Gave it a 9 because it was a couple of songs that I didn't like. Like, I just felt like, I'm not going to talk about that. The cry, whatever that was, no more after this.
You don't like the beat on that?
No, it turned me off. It did. It turned me off. And I think it was like 3, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 other ones that I didn't like. I just felt like it wasn't as crisp, like put together as I would like as I usually like. Like, I like very, how can I say? I like very like well engineered stuff, or like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was as put together as I wanted to be. It was a little rough, like, to me. Okay. And I like different sounds, and I don't feel like he had like different sounds. Like, I feel like it was kind of just like typical. Like, let me get a little transition somewhere. Let me give it a little. No, I'm just saying why I slighted it at one point. Oh, like, okay. I would have gave it a 10, but I just didn't feel like it was enough. I guess the word I'm trying to say wasn't enough versatility. Like, I like a little different sound. Like, I don't like to always hear like the typical. I don't know what is this. No, like, what do they want to call it? Because sometimes they say trap, sometimes they say, what was the other new word that they was calling it that I didn't know about?
I mean, drill, but that's
drill,
it's
right?
not
Like,
drill,
it's not. That's what I don't know. What's the difference? I don't know what the difference is. But I just gave it. I took a point off just because I would like to hear like him on like a different type of beat, like you know, maybe like a Travis Scott sound or something like Pharrell, like just something to show that he could. Well, I mean, he gonna flow how he wants to anyway, so
Right.
just something different, like outside of the same type of beats that he had, like the same drum sounds. I feel like, or like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the reason why I took the 1 point away. But other than that, I really felt like the beats were pretty good.
Okay. For production, I give it an 8. I didn't really hear anything on here that really was like that made me think like, oh, this is really creative.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to give it a 7, but I moved it up to an 8 just because of the samples that he had on here. And even though I didn't think like, especially like Intuition when he sampled Fill in the Air, I feel like that was very similar to the, like he didn't make that really his own, but I love that beat.
I think he didn't want to fuck that up.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded good and everything. So, I mean, the beat sounded good, but it just kind of sounded like the same beat with just like some very minor changes.
Yeah, he could have added a little transition at the end, or he could have did something.
But I did like it. It just felt like the best beats on here are the samples. Just like Feelings, where he sampled Jadakiss on that, and I like that beat too, but that intro, I forget what he sampled on that, but
I don't know. He was going in on it.
Yeah, that's a common.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it though.
But yeah, overall, I gave it an 8. We're gonna move on to vocals. What'd you give for vocals?
For vocals, I gave it a 6. I didn't see any special. It wasn't anything that stood out to me as spectacular. So I gave it a 6 simply because to me, he's not a mumble rapper. Like, I can hear everything he's saying. Like, to me, he is a good lyricist. Like, he actually can rap. So I just took a couple of points off because it wasn't really anything standing out to me. The girl who was on I Can Feel It in the Air, she was okay. She sounded like the original person that was on there. So I thought she did a good job. I just really didn't feel like it was anything crazy. Like, nothing stood out to me.
Okay.
He was clear. I heard his voice, but it was like, okay.
Okay, so for vocals, I gave it a 9.
Wow.
I thought he was very clear. Sound very confident in his flow. Well, in his voice, sound very confident. Felt like he, even the features on it, like you said, the chick that was on there for the Intuition song was good. Juice WRLD killed it. Polo G on Lawyer Fees killed it. Gangsta Cry, even BJ the Chicago Kid sounded great, but as far as the lyric choice, it wasn't what I would want to hear him singing. But he sounded great. So I feel like the vocals on here are good. Like, I mean, him as a rapper, he didn't really try to sing, and as far as a rapper, he sounded nice and loud and clear. So give it a 9. A lot of confidence in his voice. Moving on to rhythm and flow. What'd you give for that?
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
I just felt like it was just all over the place. Like, it started off so good though. Like the first song, I feel like the first song wasn't.
The first song started off good, but I
that's
feel like
what I'm saying.
The first half of this album was definitely the weaker part.
No, I'm talking about the first song. The first song, as far as the flow, started off good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, do he write the? I don't know what is his process. I guess is what I'm asking. Like, what is the process here? Do he already have the stuff written down, and then the beat is made, and then he just rap what he has down? Or like, what is the process? Because I just feel like I can't catch. Whenever I think I'm about to catch it, he just fucking up with something. I don't even know where it even come from. I don't know what beat he on, and that's fine because some people like that. That's just not my style. It's not as bad as like a Blueface for me, where it's just like never ever on, because sometimes he is on. But I like my music, like when I hear rap, I like it to be on beat. So I gave it a 7.
For flow, I gave it a rhythm and flow. I gave it a 6. I mean, he's on beat on some of these songs, but there's a lot of songs on here where it just seems like he just never gets on beat, and he just kind of talks over the beat. And again, I like his lyrics, and I like the messages he's putting in a lot of songs, and how he's putting the shit together. But he just, on some songs, he's just like not on beat, like, and it's just like, I don't know, like maybe
it's too hard.
Yeah,
like it's.
I would say like what you said, but he's been like this for a while now. Like this is just how he raps. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know nothing about that.
So. Yeah, I gave it a 6 for the flow. Moving on to replay value. What'd you give it for replay value?
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Despite the low rhythm and flow score, I did feel like it was still songs that I would definitely go back to on there. Again, because his lyrics, I do like his lyrics. It seemed like it was like personal to him, and he was trying to at least be somewhat vulnerable. And I felt like he was trying to be different. Yeah. Like he wasn't trying to do the typical, especially like Chicago rapper. He wasn't trying to do like the typical Chicago rap sound.
Right.
So I feel like it was a couple songs that I would definitely go back and listen to.
Okay. I gave it a 7 also for replay value. A lot of songs on here I like. Intro. PTSD, Lawyer Fees, High Speed, Feelings, the Intuition song. So yeah, it's probably about most of the album I feel like I probably go back to and listen to. Again, the second half of the album was just way better to me than the first half.
I agree.
So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and tally the scores up. We'll be right back with the final score. Don't you go nowhere. All right, we are back and we got the final score. Final score for G Herbo PTSD is gonna be a 7.9.
Okay, that's not bad.
All right.
I don't think that's bad.
How'd y'all feel about this album? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you
hate me? I hate you too,
nigga. Okay. Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And we'll see y'all later.
Peace.